Hello, my dearest friends. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be making this gorgeous looped headband that you have right here on your screen. Thank you guys so much for getting us to 10,000 subscribers. Woot woot. Thank you guys so much for all the love and all the support on every single thing that I put on here on the channel. Like I said earlier, we are going to be making this gorgeous headband that you have right here on the screen. So if you'll be interested in knowing all about this process, you know what to do. But if you don't know what to do, you are supposed to make sure you watch this video to the end. Ensure that you share with your friends and family that you think will love this type of content. Also, please don't forget to hit the like button. That button helps YouTube spread my videos to a wider audience. Finally, if you're yet to be subscribed to this channel, I'm sure you like what you see already. So please go ahead to smash the subscribe button below, and also don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you'll be the first to know every single time I drop a new video. Alright guys, now that I've said all of that, let's get straight into today's video. Let's go. Alright guys, so I'll start off by showing you everything you need. You need your crinoline. This is a 3-inch crinoline. You need a piece of S-stay or gum stay or any other type of interfacing you like. This is what my S-stay looks like. As you guys know, I like to use S-stay for any of my work projects. Okay, so the next thing you need is your fabric of choice. For me, I'm working with this my Mikado fabric. Okay, feel free to use any type of fabric that you like. All right, you don't have to use Mikado because Mikado is a bit pricey. So what we have here is a piece of fabric that was cut into 7.5 inches by the full length of my fabric, which is about 60 inches. I also already went ahead to press on my S-stay, and this is what we have on here. At this point, you are also supposed to press on your own interfacing of choice as well. But if for any reason you are using a relatively thick fabric, you might not need any form of interfacing. But if you are using a very soft fabric like satin or silk or Mikado, just like the one I have here, you would need to apply a bit of interfacing onto the fabric. After sewing all through the length of my fabric and turning my fabric inside out, this is what I have here. What I did was I adjusted the way the fabric looked to a position where the joining, okay, that sewing line is at the center. And what I'm first of all going to do is I'm going to give the fabric a good press and then pass this crinoline that I'm showing you guys through the fabric. Okay, I'm just here illustrating what the process is supposed to look like, but you don't have to worry. I'm going to show you everything I'm doing. But the very first thing we need to do is to iron. Right after ironing, this is what my fabric looks like. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to pass my crinoline through, and this is how I decided to pass my crinoline through this fabric. But I discovered another way that you can pass your crinoline easily, because crinoline tends to fray the moment you cut through it. I would suggest that from the tip you apply a bit of paper sellotape along the fraying edge of the crinoline before you now start to pass it through anything that you're working on, which is, for this case, okay, this our sewn fabric that we are trying to put crinoline in between. Okay, so put a bit of sellotape, paper sellotape to be precise, put it at the fraying edge and then pass through. That way you are able to secure your crinoline all through, and you don't have to deal with the fraying that comes with crinoline. Can you see the edge of my own right there? It's already fraying, right? So to prevent this situation, that's why I suggested that you guys, apply a bit of paper tape to the edge to secure it. So right after doing this, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to secure the crinoline inside of our fabric, and all that entails for me is I'm going to be using bias. Okay, I didn't show you guys bias at the beginning of the video, but you will need a piece of bias. But before that, I went ahead to pull my crinoline such that I have a lot of excess, because I found that if you cut the crinoline perfectly at the edge of your fabric, chances are it's going to shrink and you might have a weird situation to deal with. So make sure that you have a little bit of excess crinoline when cutting through. But if you did your crinoline in such a way that you ensure that you quickly cover up the edge with a bit of paper stay, you might not need that, but I just suggest that you have a bit of excess crinoline on the outer part. And this is where I'm going to be applying my bias tape to, and this is what the finished result looks like. I hope you guys understand everything that I've done here. Okay, and with working with the bias, you need a bit of patience. Okay, so the next thing we are going to work on is our headband. Okay, and I have a full-blown tutorial on how to wrap a headband neatly. I'm going to link that tutorial on the screen. It's one of my most requested and most watched videos on the channel, and you can just watch that video in order to know how to wrap headband like me. What I'm doing here is I'm just applying a bit of hot glue onto my business tag to just cover up the finishing of our wrapped headband. Okay, and that way, yeah, everything looks nice and sweet. I'm going to also go ahead to show you guys the finished result right after applying and securing this my business tag, and this is what we have here. This is the finished result. See how gorgeous the wrapped headband looks. Now that we've done all of this, it will be time for us to work on the main design for this particular tutorial. If you've been enjoying the video so far, please do well to hit the like button. Alright guys, so this is our fabric that has the crinoline in between. What I'm doing now is I'm going to be creating a loop that is going to serve as a design on our headband. Okay, for this portion of the video, I might not be able to explain to you, so above listening to me and everything I'm saying, please make sure that you are watching the way I'm folding and twisting to form my loop. If for any reason you need any form of clarification on this particular tutorial, please feel free to drop your comments in the comment section. Also, if you would like to place requests for any type of tutorial on here on the channel, please do well to first of all follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Those are the platforms that I'm pretty active on aside of my YouTube channel on here on YouTube, of course. Okay, so feel free to drop your video requests via DM on Instagram or drop a comment on any of my TikTok videos. Those of you on here that follow me on TikTok know that I'm very active on TikTok. Also, I've gotten a few comments from some of you guys asking me how you can show me the things that you recreated from watching any of my YouTube tutorials. The best way you can do this is to either tag me in your posts when you post on any of your favorite social media platforms. I am more active, or I am most active on Instagram and TikTok, and of course on here on YouTube. Okay, but if you're also on Facebook, my name is also the same on Facebook, Funmibi Olawore. Feel free to tag me in your posts. Also, if you're not interested in tagging me in any of your posts, you can just send me pictures of your replicated work via DM on Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to connect with you guys. Also, please, finally, I know I've been saying also a lot. Please, if you're yet to subscribe to the channel and you've made it up to this point, please do well to smash the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any one of these my tutorials. Now that I've said all of that, let me allow you guys watch what I'm doing. I hope you've been following. If you were not following, please rewind and watch what I did to form this our loop. What I'm doing here is I'm just using my needle and thread to secure the loop. Okay, some people will say they want to use glue, but I don't trust glue, so I suggest that above gluing your loop together, please do a bit of hand sewing to make sure that what you've done is properly secured. Now that I'm at the end of this my looped design, I'm just here securing my thread and cutting off the excess, and the next thing I'm going to be working on is attaching this looped design onto our wrapped plastic headband. You guys see that this tutorial is pretty easy. I enjoy coming on here with easy stuff for you guys, so replicating isn't too difficult for you guys. Okay, all right, so what I'm just doing here is just determining where I want to place my design. Okay, this looped design that I created, and the moment I decided where I wanted the looped design to be, it was now time for me to attach. And for attaching, I'm going to be using a little bit of glue, and I'm also going to be doing a bit of hand sewing. All right, so I'm just here trying to tie up the end of my needle and thread. I don't know why I left this footage on here for you guys, but yeah, I'm going to speed through this process and then we'll get straight to attaching the design. Something else I did was I decided to also test the firmness of my loop. Okay, when I found that after sewing the loop together, I still felt like the loops were just looking a bit lazy and falling apart from each other. What I went ahead to do again was to go in again with my needle and thread to sew in such a way that the loop looks a bit sturdier and it just looks put together. Okay, so don't be scared of going back and forth with your needle and thread. Of course, I would advise that you use a matching color of thread so that those your back and forth with your stitches, they look neat at the end of the day. And once that is perfectly done, you can now cut off whatever excess thread you have. What I'm doing here now is I'm applying my glue to the point where I identified on my headband as where I would like my loop to sit on. Okay, and for this portion, make sure that the glue is not getting to the edge of the headband. Okay, so it doesn't start to peek through underneath the headband. Okay, so just a little bit of glue. Most of the work is, you know, most of your work will be doing hand stitches to secure the loop onto the headband. Okay, I found that hand stitches, they look neater and they make the final outlook of your work look not tacky. It makes it look neat and professionally done. So what I'm doing here is I'm using my needle and thread to just tack down this my design onto my headband. Okay, and you see that I'm sewing in such a way that I'm forming like a locked stitch. Okay, just in case you don't know what I mean, rewind and look at the way I passed my needle and thread. I'm going to repeat this process over and over again until I have a firmly secured design on top of my headband. Okay, so feel free to do this repeatedly at different points or different positions on your headband until you have a firm looking, design. The next thing I'm going to do now is to just embellish my headband. Okay, but so I don't get ahead of myself, I'm just going to allow you guys to watch the way I'm doing my hand stitches, and then we'll move on to the embellishment portion of this video. If you've been enjoying the video so far, again, please do well to hit the like button. Okay, that supports my channel greatly, and it also lets me know that you guys enjoy the videos that I come on here with. Okay, so after doing this whole sewing and hand stitch situation repeatedly, I went ahead to just secure my stitch and move on to the embellishment portion of this video. I had a tutorial on the channel on the basics of beading, and that tutorial is very useful in deciding how you would like to embellish your headband. Okay, so feel free to check out that video. I'm going to link it on the channel. I also have another tutorial on how to bead headbands. Okay, so feel free to just incorporate those tutorials onto your work and you'll be sure to get fantastic results. I have loads and loads of beading tutorials coming your way, so please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any one of these videos that I plan to come on here with. If you'd like to see the tutorial on this pattern of beading that I did on this headband, please drop a comment in the comment section. If I get up to 100 comments on this video, I'm going to shoot a video right away, so get commenting. Also, if I get up to 200 likes on this video, I'm going to make that video for you guys where I show you how I basically embellish this headband. All right, so please do those things for me, and I'll be sure to share that video with you guys as soon as possible. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you for making it up to this point in the video. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thank you guys again, and I can't wait to see you in another video. Bye.